All right, welcome to this video. Today we're going to go over process flow charts. So this is a process flow chart. It's used to show all the components in an assembly or in a manufactured product to be entered into the ERP or MRP system. In this example, I'm going to be using the DE439, and this is a complementary document for the product structure diagram, which shows the bill of materials. So I've begun to make a process flow chart for this DE439 louver, and you can see it shows sequence of when things are made and how they're attached to the louver. So for instance, for all of these parts, I have a sill here, and it shows the work center, which is on the saw. It shows the name of the part and the part number. It shows the quantity and the dimension. So this is all information that is going to be entered into the ERP system. And you can see that it goes through a bunch of operations, so or inspections. So I'll just quickly show you those symbols. So here we have a circle, which shows an operation. It adds value. So examples would be sawing, cutting, painting, soldering, welding, milling, turning, a bunch of any fabrication method that adds value, changes the part in some way. And then you have inspections. So can you find any defects? Is there a defect in the work that was done in the previous operation? So as you can see, there's a lot more. There's storage, there's transportation. I haven't shown those, but you certainly could. Okay, so here let's follow the sill. So first, the operator spends 0.2 minutes entering the tiger stop dimension. A tiger stop is like a movable backstop which aligns the edge of the material, one edge of the extrusion to the blade. So it's going to set it at 47.838 inches to the blade, the backstop. And then you can cut that to length in the next operation. So that's 0.5 minutes. And then the operator is going to check the overall dimensions to make sure that it is, in fact, 47.838 inches. And that takes another 0.2 minutes. These times here aren't just estimated when you're sitting at your desk. You actually go and see the work and you measure it. Maybe it's not the ERP planner, maybe it's not even you, but somebody measures this time. And let's say this time can greatly affect planning. So that's another aspect here. So time. So time is used for capacity planning. You can see that I have all this other stuff to do. So this is on the same saw. And so if I have so many hours in a day and I'm using up all of those hours in the day with the time that I've entered into the ERP, I can start to capacity plan. So capacity planning is when you show how much work in the ERP system, how many orders are coming in, how much time that's going to take to cut all those orders, and then you can start to schedule when you cut those orders. Obviously, you cannot, if you have an 8-hour day, you can't do 8.5 hours or 8 hours and 10 minutes unless that worker works overtime, and the ERP system will show that. So another thing here is sequence. A process flowchart shows sequence. So you can see that all of these parts that are cut on the saw, the jambs, the left hand, right hand, the head, the blade, all the blades, go into another work center, which is the welding work center. And you're going to weld this 554363 DE439 welded assembly. And so all of these parts go into it. So you could make any of these parts in any order you wish, but they have to all arrive at the welder to be able to weld them. And notice there's a screen over here made at a different work center, the screen shear. Those go on after it's welded. See here? The line indicates that it goes after it's welded. Something happened with my pen. There we go, fixed it. Okay, so now it's going into the assembly workstation. So the welded louver, after all the parts are welded onto the welded louver, it goes into the assembly workstation or work center. And it says fasten the screen. So I can't just fasten a screen without having any screws or any way of fastening it. You can see number 10 hex washer head tech screws that are fastening the screws here. So then fastening the screen takes 5 minutes. It goes through a final inspection, and then finally you attach your shipping stickers and you package the product. And then the work is done. So this shows operations. It shows work centers. You can see there's a bunch of different work centers. It shows your parts, shows your quantities and dimensions if required. It shows your time, so you can capacity plan. And capacity planning is how many hours are available on that machine in a day? How long does it take to cut an order? And that is how much you can fit into one day. And then finally, it shows sequence. So it shows all of these parts go into the welded assembly. This part over here and the screws and the louver go into an assembly operation. And then finally, it's shipped. So one thing I didn't show on this is that it needs to go to the shipping department. So there are other tasks that will eventually happen to this product before it exits the building. But I just wanted to show you a rather simple process flowchart and what it's used for. So anyway, that concludes this video on process flowcharts. We'll see you in the next. Thank you very much.